Officials of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, are evaluating the outcomes of the Carib Wave Tsunami Response Exercise carried out 21st March 2024. Primary focus of this year's exercise was in the Saddlers to Death Bay areas, involving children and community members, along with first responders and volunteers. Ulrike Lelon-Petty, the acting Deputy Disaster Coordinator of NEMA, described the Carib Wave Tsunami exercise.
Okay, so this morning we conducted our annual Caribbean Wave exercise, which is a tsunami response exercise for community members and first responders to test our standard operating procedures as well as to test community plans. So this morning we conducted this exercise in the Deep Bay to Saddlers area. We had the Deep Bay Primary School, some students from the daycare center at Deep Bay, as well as the Saddlers Primary and Daycare Center participate, as well as some other community members. These persons, once they would have heard the exercise message, either by SMS, radio, or by the emergency responders in the loud hailers that were going around in the community, they would have evacuated to the tsunami assembly points.
Are you telling the community about what to look out for, what to be aware of in regards to tsunamis?
Yes, so Caribbean Wave is a tsunami sensitization exercise where we use the opportunity to educate persons on the threat that tsunamis pose to St. Kitts and Nevis. It also educates them on what to do if a tsunami was to impact St. Kitts and Nevis, and so the action for that would be to evacuate, and so that's why we had persons going to the assembly areas. What we did is we positioned volunteers around the exercise area to evaluate the exercise.
Carib Wave is conducted throughout the Eastern Caribbean as tsunamis are considered one of several natural hazards that could affect our countries. Glenn Bart reporting for SK Newsline.
Minister of Agriculture in the Nevis Island Administration, Deputy Premier Eric Evelyn, officially launched Agri Expo 2024 on Thursday, March 21st, saying he expects this year to be bigger and better than previous years. The 28th edition of the Department of Agriculture's Agri Expo takes place March 21st and 22nd at the El Camino Willett Park in Nevis, under the patronage of Mrs. Valerie Ermine Hendrickson. The theme this year is promoting sustainable agriculture for a resilient future.
And it is indeed a proud moment for me and for all of us in the ministry and the Department of Agriculture as we today and tomorrow showcase everything agriculture and more to not only the Division community, but to the community in St. Kitts and to the community across the region. Visit all of the booths. See what we have on offer. See what we have on sale. And ensure that you patronize and patronize well. I can assure you that we have 2 days that will thrill you, 2 days that will excite you, 2 days you will get education from. And we invite you to indulge in what we have to offer over the next 2 days. And you will have a very memorable experience. If you come today, we invite you to come back tomorrow. And so, with those few words, it gives me immense pleasure in declaring Agri Expo 2024 officially open.
Minister Evelyn presented a gift basket to patron of the fair, Mrs. Valerie Ermine Hendrickson, during the opening ceremony.
Val, as she is affectionately known, has been involved in agriculture for most of her life, doing backyard gardening, floral arrangements, as well as arranging fruit baskets. Her most significant contributions, however, have been through agro-processing. She has been a commercial agro-processor since 2003 after successfully completing a 10-day course in agro-processing at the Caribbean Industrial Research Institute, Cariri, in Trinidad. Over time, her catalog of products has extended to include jams, jellies, wines, juices, pepper sauce, chutney, dried fruits, pepper vinegar, and seasoning. All of her raw materials are locally sourced, with most of the fruits being grown in her backyard garden. a feat she is extremely proud of. She boasts of never missing an agriculture open day or agri-expo since she started selling when she joined Miss Isaac selling flowers. Val is thankful to God Almighty for her many talents, the Ministry and Department of Agriculture for their support over the years, her customers, well-wishers, and support team. She also expresses an interest in sharing her knowledge of agro-processing and training persons to set up businesses in the field. We say thank you to Mrs. Hendrickson for her stellar contribution to the agriculture sector and her continued participation in Agri-Expo.
Meanwhile, Director of Agriculture, Mr. Randy Elliott, and Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Mr. Huey Sargent, also delivered remarks at the opening ceremony. Mr. Elliott spoke about how the value of the event has improved over the years.
I must say thank you to our prime sponsored bank, the National Bank of St. Kitts and Nevis, who would have came on board so willingly this year because of the product, and they would have seen the hard work that we are doing here. This is just not a show. It is an experience. It's an opportunity for us to showcase and to show the people of Nevis what are we doing here in agriculture.
The schedule of events includes food demonstrations, technical demonstrations, performances by cultural groups, domino competition, musical entertainment by local DJs, raffle drawings, and giveaways. Andre Huey, SKN Newsline.
Youth Business St. Kitts and Nevis presents Your Path to Entrepreneurship. Are you a young dreamer eager to turn your passion into profit? Whether you're unemployed, seeking a side hustle, or simply craving the freedom of being your own boss, we are here to guide you every step of the way. Join us on Monday, March 25th, 2024 from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the NEMA building for an empowering journey towards entrepreneurship. Our expert team is ready to equip you with essential training and the necessary tools to kickstart your business endeavors. Don't let uncertainty hold you back. Take charge of your future today by signing up for our exclusive event. Call 1-869-767-3717 or email youthbusinessskn@outlook.com to secure your spot. Your entrepreneurial journey starts here.
So the reason I love the cable, the prices are reasonable and affordable, and they give back so much to the community and the country.
It's the event of the year when Gospel Outreach Ministries present Jesus Party Sunset Cruise on Sunday, March 31st at 5 p.m. on the Prince Devontae J, featuring M1, Roots Gospel Band, and Tehila. Tickets $60. Call 663-1528 to purchase your tickets. It's the Jesus Party Sunset Cruise, March 31st on the Prince Devontae J, leaving the marina at 5 p.m. Don't you miss it.
Cheers to the city. Cheers to the city. Cheers to the city. Cheers to the city.
In the presence of Dame Marcella Liebert, Governor General of St. Kitts and Nevis, The St. Christopher National Trust ceremonially marked 130 years of the historic building that houses the National Museum, while disclosure was made of restoration works to begin soon. Ms. Etsu Bradshaw-Keynes, Executive Director of the National Trust, provided the first hints of restoration works as she gave recognition of the economic contribution of the old Treasury building.
The new building, and I repeat, the new building will be waiting to be discovered by each new generation. As we commemorate this milestone, let us not only celebrate the past, but also embrace the promise of the future. May the old Treasury building continue to inspire and captivate all who will pass through its hallowed walls soon and very soon. And I repeat, soon and very soon. Serving as a reminder of our rich heritage and the enduring spirit of St. Christopher and Nevis. The old Treasury building, 130th birthday, a beacon of history, a symbol of resilience, and a cherished cornerstone of our beloved city. Here's to another century of grandeur, preservation, and boundless wonder.
It was Lindbergh Alvaranga, project manager with the St. Christopher National Trust, who outlined the scope of work that will be done on the old Treasury building that today houses the offices of the National Trust and the National Museum.
The scope was developed by the project engineer Danielle Steele, who is a specialist in building restoration throughout the region. She's based in Trinidad. And the project may be simply described as the faithful restoration of the building, trying to restore it to its former glory. Beyond the regular site cleanup and things like that, the scope of the project entails repairs to the walls and the removal of the Portland cement from joints, repairs to the cracks in the walls, applying the historic lime mortar in the designated areas, repairing and replacing metal doors and windows, and including the replacement of the balconies that were formerly there, the wrought iron balconies. We have detailed pictures of what they used to look like back in the day, and they're currently being fabricated by specialists who do that kind of thing. So it will be the original thing. May not be the exact same thing, it won't have some of the rust, but it will still be original. We have repair to the roof, in particular the cupola, and the metal ceiling, that tin ceiling that you see inside. We have repairs for that, and hopefully it's not the scope doesn't entail the full replacement of some of it, but hopefully if funds allow, we could incorporate that bit into it, and also the replacement of the wooden floors.
Kevin Taylor, president of the St. Christopher National Trust, reaffirmed the commitment of the trust to transform the building through the restorative work and to create a modern documentation center that is highly digitized.
As we celebrate this milestone, let us look to the future with optimism and determination. The Treasury building may be 130 years old, but our history is far from over. We, the Board of Directors and members, will ensure it continues to evolve with the times. Upon the completion, which hosts the St. Christopher National Trust will be armed with the latest technologies and innovation to better serve the needs of our people and visitors alike. Finally, let us reaffirm our commitment to preserving and cherishing this iconic landmark for our future generation.
The occasion of the building's 130th anniversary was toasted, and guests were invited to join a historic tour of Bastille on the St. Kitts Sugar Train, a collaborative 3 times per week tour of the National Trust. Glenn Bart reporting for SK Newsline.
Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew has asserted that CARICOM has been a tremendous benefit to St. Kitts and Nevis. Speaking in an interview on Freedom FM's Issues program on Wednesday, Dr. Drew touted the benefits of CARICOM, listing the various regional entities that serve the Federation.
We benefit a lot from CARICOM. I want that to be clear. RSS When things get tough in St. Kitts, we say, why don't we bring in the RSS? The RSS is a CARICOM force, is a regional force. That's a benefit that we have. The other thing that we benefit is SEDEMA, for example, that deals with disasters. Each time a hurricane is heading towards St. Kitts, SEDEMA, which is a CARICOM institution, step forward to help us to deal with the St. Kitts and Nevis can't deal with that on their own. If the security get tough, St. Kitts and Nevis can't deal with it on their own. CXC, St. Kitts and Nevis cannot on its own set up a examination council that will be respected around the world. We have CXC, RSS, SEDEMA that deal with that. We have CAFA that deals with the health aspects of our countries in the CARICOM. Why am I dealing with education, health, and security? These are the very foundations on which any country is built. Any successful country is built. Therefore, CARICOM has played a tremendous role. The CDB, Caribbean Development Bank, that bank is what is giving us the first $17 million to develop the geothermal in Nevis. So I want to say that CARICOM has been very positive for all of its members, including St. Kitts and Nevis.
The Prime Minister reiterated his point that St. Kitts and Nevis has not yet signed on to the broader free movement of persons from CARICOM, as it is still determining what aspects of this new thrust would be beneficial to the country. I'm Andre Huey for SKN Newsline.
Youth Business St. Kitts and Nevis presents Your Path to Entrepreneurship. Are you a young dreamer eager to turn your passion into profit? Whether you're unemployed, seeking a side hustle, or simply craving the freedom of being your own boss, we are here to guide you every step of the way. Join us on Monday, March 25th, 2024 from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Nima Building for an empowering journey towards entrepreneurship. Our expert team is ready to equip you with essential training and the necessary tools to kickstart your business endeavors. Don't let uncertainty hold you back. Take charge of your future today by signing up for our exclusive event. Call 1-869-767-3717 or email youthbusinessskn@outlook.com to secure your spot. Your entrepreneurial journey starts here.
So the reason I love the cable, prices are reasonable and affordable, and they give back so much to the community and the country.
It's the event of the year when Gospel Outreach Ministries present Jesus Party Sunset Cruise on Sunday, March 31st at 5 p.m. on the Prince Devontae J, featuring M1, Roots Gospel Band, and Tehila. Tickets $60. Call 663-1528 to purchase your tickets. It's the Jesus Party Sunset Cruise, March 31st on the Prince Devontae J, leaving the marina at 5 p.m. Don't you miss it.
Just in the city. Just in the city. In the city. Just in the city.
The images coming in late today from Haiti. At least 30 Americans choppered out of Port-au-Prince, nearly 1,600 Americans in Haiti reaching out to the U.S. Embassy. Many want out amid the growing danger there. ABC's Matt Rivers in Haiti again tonight.
Tonight, this State Department helicopter airlifting Americans out of Haiti. Our team capturing the daring mission. 2 choppers flying at least 30 Americans out of Port-au-Prince today after weeks of chaos. And as tensions rise, the government planning to send 2 helicopters into Haiti every day, hoping to get about 30 citizens out on those flights. And this is what they're fleeing. Gangs overrunning entire neighborhoods, fighting the police.
It's not hyperbole to say that the only thing that's standing in between gangs completely taking over this country are a couple thousand police officers who are risking their lives every single day fighting back against these gangs.
Here in Port-au-Prince, we go meet one of those officers on the front lines, part of a specialized unit fighting the gangs, terrorizing this city.
Bonjour.
This officer meeting us indoors, covering his face for his own safety. He tells me the police are outgunned and outmanned. We can't retreat, he says. We can't give up the country to the gangs. I've got no choice.
And David, back to those evacuations, the U.S. State Department saying that nearly 1,600 Americans on the ground right now in Haiti are in touch with the U.S. Embassy as the State Department tries to find more ways to get more Americans out. David?
Matt Rivers live in Haiti for us tonight. Matt, thank you.
The theme chosen for this year's World Down Syndrome Day is End the Stereotypes, which underscores a formidable hurdle with which the Down syndrome community continues to struggle to this day.
Our negative assumptions about people with Down syndrome can lead us to treat them in such a way that the assumptions become a reality. Such assumptions have been described as self-fulfilling prophecy, but we can change the script.
President of the Council of Community Living, Ontario, Nicole Flynn, said she longs for the day that people with Down syndrome are given a fair chance.
At one time, things were done to us. Then people started to do things for us, as if we can't do anything for ourselves. The time is now to do things with us. Allow us to make decisions and try new things.
Attorney and wife of Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley, Sharon Clark Rowley, added that health equity should also be a top priority, especially since people with Down syndrome are more susceptible to developing medical conditions.
Thyroid disorders, gastrointestinal issues, leukemia, heart defects, early onset Alzheimer's, dementia, and vision and hearing issues. This being the case, it is imperative that persons with Down syndrome have unfettered access to health care if they are to achieve the highest standard of health and if we are to ensure their full participation and inclusion in our society.
Mrs. Clark Rowley urged everyone to continue to advocate for the empowerment and inclusion of the Down syndrome community.
I love the cable because they really look out for different groups of people. I'm on the creative pack, and they provide services tailored and dedicated to people just like me.
Introducing St. Kitts and Nevis's newest TV channel, Television Caribbean, TVC Channel 40 on the cable's Ultra TV. TVC promises to deliver the finest in television broadcasting in St. Kitts and Nevis and the Caribbean, with some of the best local programs in news, sports, and entertainment. Join us for Insights, where we delve into the lives of our guests.
Let me see what happened if I put this thing. Big explosion, like, okay, note to self, don't do that again.
Or get in-depth analysis on Newsline 360. We have sports, entertainment, and inspiration. It's all here on TVC Channel 40 on the cable's Ultra TV on Tel TV cable network in St. Martin and on our website www.tvcplus.live. TVC Channel 40. See the difference.
Online radio has never been this great. It's Voice of the Caribbean Radio at voiceofthecaribbean.net. Tune into Voice of the Caribbean Radio for great Caribbean programs, news, entertainment, sports, and current affairs. Wake up each morning and be inspired with One Day at a Time with Kim Huey. Stay abreast with news across the Caribbean and internationally with the Caribbean News Hour, and be entertained with shows like Reggaeville, Caribbean Classics, and Jive Music Show. Visit our website or listen us on TuneIn Radio. There is so much more on Voice of the Caribbean Radio, reaching the Caribbean and beyond. Check website for program schedule.
The SKN Newsline website now offers you more news. Log on to www.sknnewsline.com for local, regional, and international news. You can also watch the latest newscast and keep abreast with news in sports, all from sknnewsline.com. That's www.sknnewsline.com. News at your fingertips.
I love the cable because they're real. What you see is what you get. No hidden agenda, no tricks, just real, honest communication.
We have some breaking news now. The Director General of the World Health Organization is speaking at a news conference on global health issues. The health impact of Israel's war on Gaza is a focal point. Let's listen in.
Need ready-to-use therapeutic food that's targeted at their needs. There are some supplies of this type of food in Gaza, but it cannot be distributed safely to where it's needed. Recent efforts to deliver food by air and sea are welcome, but only the expansion of land crossings will enable large-scale deliveries to prevent famine. WHO has supported the establishment of a nutrition stabilization center at Kamal Adwan Hospital to treat children with severe acute malnutrition with medical complications who are at the highest risk of imminent death if not treated urgently. We're supporting the establishment of another center at the International Medical Corps Field Hospital in Rafah. And we're training health workers on how to recognize and treat malnutrition with complications. Meanwhile, Gaza's health system continues to suffer. WHO and our partners have been conducting high-risk missions to deliver medicines, fuel, and food for health workers and their patients, but our requests to deliver supplies are often blocked or refused. Damaged roads and continuous fighting, including in and close to hospitals, mean deliveries are few and slow. We're particularly concerned about military operations inside and around Al-Shifa Hospital in Gaza City. Accessing Al-Shifa is now impossible, and there are reports of health workers being arrested and detained. A planned mission to Al-Shifa today had to be cancelled due to lack of security. Once again, we ask Israel to open more crossings and accelerate the entry and delivery of water, food, medical supplies, and other humanitarian aid into and within Gaza. Once again, we call for healthcare to be protected and not militarized. Once again, we call for the release of hostages. And once again, we call for an immediate ceasefire. Now to Haiti, where the security situation in the capital, Port-au-Prince...
Okay, that was the Director General of the World Health Organization, who was calling for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza, saying that aid cannot be distributed safely at this point in time. More crossings have to be opened to allow more aid into the Strip. He also spoke briefly around the situation at Al-Shifa Hospital, saying that planned aid going to that hospital today had to be cancelled because of security concerns.
And congressional leaders are racing to pass a bipartisan funding bill to avert a partial government shutdown ahead of tomorrow's deadline. The House is expected to vote on the $1.2 trillion funding package tomorrow, leaving the Senate limited time. ABC News senior reporter Catherine Falders joins me now for more. Catherine, what are the details of this bill, and will lawmakers be able to meet this tight deadline?
Well, look, it's a good question. So this $1.2 trillion funding bill includes funding for 6 bills. That includes defense, financial services, homeland security, foreign operations. But in terms of your question of whether lawmakers will be able to meet this deadline, we expect there will be a vote on this tomorrow. It hasn't been formally noticed by the Speaker of the House, but then, of course, it goes over to the Senate, and funding runs out at midnight on Friday. So the question is, will they be able to avert a government shutdown? And at least it seems at this point that maybe there will be some sort of mini shutdown into the weekend. Usually when that's happened before, it hasn't affected major operations in any way. But that's the big question. When will the House vote? And then can the Senate, when will the Senate vote on this? There's no question about whether this will pass, though. We do expect it to pass in both chambers.
Now, Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer says he will invite President Biden to testify about his alleged involvement in his family's business endeavors. This, of course, comes after a contentious hearing yesterday in this impeachment inquiry. What's the latest, and is there any chance the president actually testifies here?
I don't think that there is a chance that President Biden will testify here. Of course, the House Oversight Committee has said that they plan to invite him. They haven't formally invited him, but this is really House Republicans' long shot attempt to keep this impeachment inquiry alive. We know, and we've reported that behind the scenes, Republicans are really saying that they don't think that this is going to move forward in the first place. So we'll have to see how that plays out. The White House hasn't said anything about this yet, but I could pretty much guess that I don't think President Biden will be showing up to testify before the Oversight Committee anytime soon.
And the Senate is also considering this bill already passed by the House that could ban TikTok nationwide. Senators held this classified briefing yesterday and then warned that TikTok endangers millions of users. So what's the latest on that bill, and what are you hearing from lawmakers about it?
Yeah, there definitely is this shared sense in the House and in the Senate that TikTok does pose a massive security threat. And of course, the House bill has some substantive backers on the Senate side. The chair of the committee, Warner Rubio, in addition to that. But the big question here is, does Schumer put this on the floor? There's been some disagreement among committee chairs. So really the process in the Senate, how does this move forward? Does it come to the floor at all for a vote? Schumer's in a bit of a difficult situation here. So we just have to see, again, process-wise, how that plays out in the Senate, Diane.
All right, senior reporter Catherine Falders, thank you.
The Sugar Boys created history on Wednesday, March 20th, when they defeated European outfit San Marino 3-1 in the first of 2 international friendlies at the San Marino Stadium. This result was historic because San Marino has not won a match in 20 years, and the international media made them heavy favorites to break their losing streak against St. Kitts and Nevis. But thanks to goals from Taekwon Terrell in the 31st minute, Andre Burley in the 45th minute, and Harry Panayutu in the 49th minute, the Sugar Boys changed the narrative and earned a welcome victory as they prepared for World Cup qualifiers later this year. The match was broadcast live on the SKNFA Facebook page and TVC Channel 40. Here are the highlights.
Berardi making some room for himself and winning a penalty. As Berardi just moved across away from Burley. And that was enough for the referee. In 3 consecutive games. And now they've scored in 4 consecutive games. And just watch the celebrations. Sterling James with the corner in towards the front post. It will drop here for St. Kitts and Nevis to slam in an equalising goal. It's a really lovely strike, and it's one that Colombo couldn't see through the crowds. Burley makes the run, and the ball comes into the 6-yard box, and the goalkeeper, Colombo, doesn't grab hold. And again from a corner, St. Kitts and Nevis snatch another. Burley was smart to react. And he was able to slide in and get there before Colombo could get another opportunity here to grab hold. Well, the debutant goalkeeper will be disappointed here because he had his chance to get there. And Burley quickly in on the chase. Somersault is able to race away, pokes it through. Panayutu arriving and smashing in a brilliant goal. It's goal number 3 for St. Kitts and Nevis. And it only takes 3 minutes in the second half for that to arrive. His 12th international goal gives St. Kitts and Nevis some breathing room in this matchup. Well, the hard work was done on the right-hand side of the field by Somersault, who was able to feed it through, and Panayutu there, able to pounce.
After the match, coach Francisco Molina of St. Kitts and Nevis expressed elation at the win.
They came a little bit stronger at us at the first 10-12 minutes. We weren't expecting for the outside backs to push up high. We didn't see that on video. And I think our formation at the beginning allowed them to do that. But we adjusted. The boys understood. Our outside wingers dropped back just a couple of 5-10 yards, and that fixed a lot of the problems that they were costing us. I think also as soon as our midfielders started possession, had ball possession, we became more dangerous. And when we changed from 2 forwards to 3 forwards, we became very dangerous. Also, we concentrated on offensive set pieces, and we scored off of 2 of them. I think that we talked a lot about that during our 2 practice sessions. And even though it wasn't that many, I think the boys went out there and proved themselves. Now, this is just the first half. You know, we still have the second half on Sunday, so we got to be prepared. We can't be over-celebrating, and we got to stay focused. So that is what we're going to do.
The Sugar Boys next play San Marino in the second friendly on Sunday at 3:45 p.m. local time. Local viewers will be able to see the match live on the SKNFA Facebook page and TVC Channel 40 on the cable's Ultra TV.